a lot of people is asking like, what would be the trend for the next 10 years? He probably never heard of a question asking what is going to remain consistent for the next 10 years. And mentioning that the second question is actually much more important than the first one.
The other question that I like asking is, where's your hometown? And it can be personal or it can be work related. But their answer then gives you something to talk about.
We can think of us as a business or even a product, right? What would the employer want from you?
That's something like we not usually hear about that, and like it's quite challenging. So you guys think like if we can change something to help the international student, like new student just graduated, like help them to stand out, or like the way we can support them to work and to study. How can you change about that? Maybe your mentorship programs, or maybe using AI and stuff like that. What do you think?
Yeah, as an international student, if you're transitioning from university into working life, I would thoroughly recommend finding a mentor. There's mentor programs out there, or your fellow university students may know of particular people who have been great mentors. Universities all have mentorship programs. Partake in those to really get that experience. And if you're lucky, you'll get a great mentor who can really take you up to the next level. The other way is what I call for university students, work integrated learning or WIL courses. They're very similar like internships. You could be in a class or yourself, you get put on a project to solve, and then you build those skills. And that's how Gordon and I know each other. Mm-hmm. Gordon came as part of an internship into my team. He was interviewed, he was selected, and he worked together with me for 3 months. He did fantastic in data analytics.
Yes.
And data visualization, such that at the end of it, this is what Gordon did brilliantly. At the coffee kitchen room, he said, Dan, I really enjoyed this experience, and is there any way I could continue on as an internship, whether unpaid or paid? And I thought through, yes, Gordon is doing a great work here, and it's really quite valuable what he's doing. I spoke to my director or my manager and put a business case of the value that Gordon does, how much it would cost Gordon if we paid him by the hour, and that was approved. Yep. So Gordon came in and he worked with me for 4 months, I think, maybe.
You mean the total duration? Including internship, probably like half a year.
Half a year.
More than that.
So. Yeah, so he was there with me. So 4 months, around 4 months was paid internship, which was great for him. Mm-hmm. And the beauty of it was, because it was Gordon's last term and he was about to graduate, and then he applied for graduate programs. And I said to him, thank you for all the work you've done. If you actually get a graduate interview, let me know, because I'll give you some pointers on how to prepare for it, for the interview, the mindset you need to do. And then Gordon got the role, which is quite incredible, because Gordon has gone into Findex, which is a mid-tier accounting firm, business services, which typically you think is an accounting finance graduate, but Gordon's a business and analytics graduate. So they've taken Gordon out of their normal catchment pool, and they've taken him on. And what I heard recently was fantastic. Gordon won Employee of the Year, Australia-wide, for all the graduates that come through. So he's an example of, you don't necessarily need to have done that degree as your core, but if whatever company you do, if you're passionate, if you do well, if you communicate, if you learn the technical side of it, and if all comes together, and your team and manager like you have to have likability, then you can rise and you can win awards like this. Because Gordon, as an international student, has got that first prize over domestic and international students. So well done. Yeah.
Oh, that's good. I will take that advice for myself as well. Thank you for sharing. So so Gordon, congratulations. You have been recognized as an Employees of the Year, right? So, which is a huge stage of your life. So what do you think make you stand out? Just a quick summarize your journey, not just for your skill, but like as a person.
Yeah.
Like advice for international student, like besides all the Dan just said. For yourself.
Saying.
Practice.
As I'm thinking,
What made you stand out?
what made me stand out.
That you were able to win the Graduate Employee of the Year. Yeah.
I feel like because back on.
Like you beat out like hundreds of students out there.
It's back in the questions to Dan where you were asking how to stand out. I feel like a lot of people now, they try to put some like buzzwords into the CV, try to stand out more, but it really comes to the fundamental of like, I think I'll try to quote this from Jeff Bezos, because I did see one of his comments. It was a good one. So it was saying, a lot of people is asking like, what would be the trend for the next 10 years? But he probably never heard of a question asking what is going to remain consistent for the next 10 years. And mentioning that the second question is actually much more important than the first one. For example, he said for Amazon, it would be customers would never want higher prices, longer deliveries. That's like a very common thing, right? So back in our case, we can think of as a business or even a product, right? What would the employer or people who need you want from you? And that was never gonna change. Which in my opinion, there's like a couple soft skills that like communications, like you have to articulate your ideas well, you can understand the questions or the problems, being able to adapt in different environments, different tasks, that's part of problem solving as well. And another important one might be your domain knowledge. That being said, I feel like students should really hone those types of skills instead of trying to find the buzzwords in the CV. After that, going to the interview, having to the interview stage, you can also ask like the interviewer, what would be a high performer look like in your opinion? Like what are the skills that they would have? What are the personalities they would have? After understand their like skills, and try to get that, try to hone those skills, then you'll probably get the job you want. Networking is also a big part.
Yeah.
Because if you want to stand out, you have to be seen by people, right? But I feel like networking, a lot of students go to networking, try to looking for jobs, right? They ask, the main goal is to look for jobs at the networking event. People can feel that. This guy is just, I think he's just looking for jobs. And this conversation just started off just because he wants to get a job. But you should go from another perspective. You're trying to learn from his experience. That guy's probably had like decades of experience that you can learn from. You can try to learn their journey, how they got there, what's their experience like, and the backstories. Because that's what you get the most out of those networking events. You can also, let me think about it. Networking events, you can try to find people that's like compatible, I'd say, compatible with you. To find a mentor, because it could be one out of like 100 or 1,000, but as long as you get that one, and you're set. So yeah, I guess those kind of things will make you outstanding in the group of competitors.
Like, do you guys use any like social media or AI things like to enhance your networking like journeys, like LinkedIn, or maybe you can build like e-portfolio, stuff like that. Do you have any advice for like international students so they can build their profile or their CV better to show up, to stand out?
Yeah, I would say AI is a fantastic tool, but it's just a tool. However you use it for your LinkedIn posts, for your profile, you really do need to look through it and say, is that right? Is that really me? And then change it, because you don't want it to sound like a robot, and you don't want your LinkedIn profile and your resume to sound like everyone else's LinkedIn profile and resume, because they're all going to blend in. So you want to know what's special about you and then reflect that. And what Gordon said before was, you go to networking events, it's not looking desperate. You're meeting those people, come from a place of curiosity. You want to know more about them, about their journey, how did their career happen, and maybe you connect. Maybe you don't connect that well, but maybe you do connect, and they could be the pathway to put you in touch with their connections, and ultimately that person could be the key person who has a big say in your opportunity that comes along. So think of it bigger than just that person that you meet, is really important. So go in with an open mind, curiosity. You're there to meet people, they're there to meet you, and see what magic can happen from there.
So we talk a lot about like networking, but can you guys, like share about the techniques? How you guys actually can go into a networking event? How you can like talk with people? Yeah, it's really quite hard.
Okay. Well, Crystal, let's role play this.
Wow.
Let's pretend we're in a scenario. So Gordon, I know Gordon well. He was my intern. He's now moved off into a graduate role. So we've caught up together. We're going to an event, and you happen to be at the event. We don't know each other.
That's a great idea. Why not, right?
So let's role play this,
Let's
how this
start
would
it.
work. So Gordon and I we walk up to the event, and then we see you next to the pizza table, and you're eating, you're by yourself.
Yes.
And then Gordon and I look at each other and we say,
Oh, that's
she
great.
looks interesting. Let's go over her and say, hello, I'm Daniel, this is Gordon. Do you want to have a chat? What brings you to this event and what's your name?
Yes. Yeah, gotcha. Let's play that.
Yeah.
So we can like.
Yeah. So that's our question. Yeah. So what's your name? Yeah.
Hi, I'm Crystal.
Okay.
Yeah. So
then I say, yep, I'm Daniel.
I'm Gordon. Nice meeting you.
nice to meet you. How are
Yeah.
you?
Good. And are you a student at the moment, or you're working? Yeah.
Oh yeah, actually now I'm doing my master course in Wollongong University, and I'm nearly done that. Yeah, and I'm doing like the innovation and entrepreneurship master course. Yeah, it's quite interesting, but I'm quite nervous.
Okay.
Yes.
So in that example, then we know a little bit about you, where you've studied, what you've studied, and then with that information, then we talk about that. It's like, it could be Wollongong, it's a beautiful place, wonderful beaches, not far away from Sydney, or that's really interesting in innovation and entrepreneurship. I actually know people in that space I can connect you through if you're interested more about it. And then Gordon, being my wingman, he may have a question for you. Yeah.
To add on that, I feel like where you're from actually is a very good question, because you know if they want to go personal, professional, when you ask this question, right? If you ask like, where are you from, and they answer like, their hometown, then they want to go in the more personal route. If they tell you, I'm from Findex, then this is more of a professional talk.
Yes.
So yeah. So shall I continue?
Very good point. Yeah, go ahead. We're still role playing.
So yeah, this is Dan. Oh, sorry, we haven't really introduced that. So yeah, we actually came from UNSW, finance team. So yeah, we're actually at this event. Let's call this AI event. We're actually just trying to see how have others been applying AI to this.
Wow, that's really cool.
To their role and everything.
Yeah,
So what brings you to this event? It's like AI event, I say.
Yes, because it's really matched with my major course. It's like innovation and entrepreneurship. So actually I have a project of myself, and I'm trying to learn more and connect more people, to learn more about things so I can apply to my project about AI. Yeah, like a startup project.
Okay.
So,
have you been working on any other projects? at the moment, or are you trying to start out and
Yes,
try to find?
me and my team are doing like like AI project about the building materials, and we actually got some problem with that. So I'm actually open my mind to join more events to learn some new things, maybe find some experts about that. But I'm really struggling because I don't know anybody here. So meet you guys, really lovely. Yeah, maybe you guys can give me some advice or something about that. Maybe we can connect the LinkedIn or WhatsApp. Yeah, maybe you'll have that.
Sure, and that's a classic way because you've had an interaction and you want to hold on to that connection because after the end of the event, if you haven't connected through LinkedIn, you've lost that opportunity to be connected from there on. So once you're LinkedIn connected, then I always recommend within 72 hours, 3 days, reach back out and send the message. It was lovely to meet you, Crystal, at the AI event, wherever it was. Then people remember what it is.
Yeah, we have a topic. Yeah,
And you talked about innovation, entrepreneurship in the building materials. I thought about it that I have a friend in that space. Would you be happy for me to connect her to you so you can see if she can help you?
Like even if it's not your personal network, it could be people within that event, right? So you have met this guy who might be doing also a startup, and then we have met you. We could have brought you to that person, which we just met, and yeah, that would be like a small community starting.
Yeah.
That's a good way to do it.
Yeah. The other question that I like asking is, where's your hometown? So your hometown could be in Sydney, so you're local. Then you would talk about local aspects of it. Sort of, you lived around Bondi Beach, or you lived in the CBD. Yeah. So that would be a local type of conversation, or what school you went to. But in your case, I would ask, where's your hometown, Crystal?
Yeah, so we'll say, I'm from Vietnam. Have you been there before?
No. And which city in Vietnam?
Oh, it's Ho Chi Minh City.
Okay, so is that the capital?
Oh, it's not the capital. Capital is not Hanoi.
Okay.
Yeah, and the capital is like in the Ho Chi Minh City, it's in the south and like a very wonderful city. It's like a second Hanoi.
Okay, then I would say I haven't been there before, but it's in the plans, my wife and I, to go visit. I've heard some wonderful tourist areas in Vietnam. So that's where then you can get more connected with that person because it's very personal, their hometown, and they'll tell you about their hometown. So that could be the way to be connected, or more easily connected.
Yeah, I agree because it's like a little bit closer than your the basic background where you like major stuff like that. Yeah, that's good. That's a good way. Yes.
What other techniques do you have when you?
Do you have any question to connect more? Stuff like that?
Because to be honest, a lot of the events I went to, with Dan, and a lot of them is like very senior roles, like managers, directors, CEOs. I'm there with just a grad auditor, right? I guess trying to get them connected through personal first helps to add on like further questions for like more professional questions that I was mentioning, like, what were you actually doing within like your industry now? But yeah, I feel like the question like where you're from or what's your hometown does add a lot, and based on that, then adding further comments within that, this helps you build a connection.
Yeah. The other one I like asking is, what's your superpower? So if we were to ask you that, Crystal, what's your superpower?
Wow.
And it can be personal or it can be work related, but their answer then gives you something to talk about. So what would yours be?
I'll go with my
What
one.
are you really good at? Yeah.
I'm a big eater. I eat a lot, but I don't gain weight.
All right. That's a great superpower
it
to
could be
have.
these kind of like casual
Yeah.
topics, but
Yeah.
just to tone down a bit on the professional.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree because I have watched about it like in TikTok. It's like you asking some people like, "Oh, what's your favorite dinosaur?" And so you have something to talk about. It's really funny. Yeah, I think it's a good way to connect and to share more about like your personality or characteristic. It's really a good way.
Yeah. And if you're an international student, you may be thinking, what can I offer but you're the connector between the university and working people. So that's where you can offer opportunities to connect with the university as a guest lecturer, a panel speaker, consulting case judge, or just come along to speak at the student societies or days. Those are opportunities that as an international student to offer value, where then people say, wow, Crystal, Gordon, they were quite interesting. I do want to be in contact with them once you do the LinkedIn connection.
Wow, it's really good advice. Thank you.
Another thing I think that Dan had mastered it like very well is to introduce yourself. Like you have your own user profile, basically. I feel like he just introduced me very systematically, I would say already. For each person, they would have his own storyline, and then Dan can introduce them very well. I guess that helps for international students themselves. Like think about
who you are.
The 2-minute elevator speech, something similar to that. So where you articulate your whole storyline into 2 minutes. Then during that conversation, it's easier for the other person to like, oh wait, actually, this is connecting the dots. This guy is similar to me in this aspect. Then you can continue the conversation.
And I know Gordon's storyline, being my intern before. So if we were at an event and Gordon was my wingman, so wingman, wingwoman, as part of it, if we just met you, Crystal, I would then say, please meet Gordon. And I'll talk about Gordon, the elevator speech I'm doing on behalf of Gordon. Gordon was my intern. He then got a grad role in Findex, which is a mid-tier accounting business services firm. He's actually originally from Macau. So he speaks both Mandarin and Cantonese. And then that's where we can talk about wonton noodles and Portuguese tarts. So it's about knowing who you're going with and promoting them as well, which then makes it a lot more closer. So it's not always about yourself.
Wow. I think like that way can make yourself more legit. Show your connection with people. Yes, to connect more. Yeah, that's a good point.
Because that's the word there. It's connecting. You're there at an event, like networking. Some people see that as a negative word, but reframe it in your mind. It's connecting. I'm just connecting with people. I want to know about their story. I want to know about Crystal's story. They want to know about Gordon and my story, and we're sharing that. And somehow we may find a good common point or connection that we want to continue on, and then through LinkedIn, come along, Crystal, to another event that we're hosting. And some people meet their best friend forever that way, let alone through work.
Like a lot
that's the way like you
that.
guys met.
basically, yeah.
Thank you so much for sharing. So it's quite challenging for international students when they have the first networking event. So do you have any advices for them to tackle all the difficulties when they just coming to new country and they know nobodies and have no experience? So what did you do for that one? Maybe based on your experience and based on your case?
I'm gonna quote from Dan. You don't get if you don't ask. You just, a lot of the times, for international students, we're coming to this foreign place, not knowing anybody. You feel nervous a lot of the time, especially you go to the networking event with no experience. You probably have not much value experience to share, but I guess it's just come along with practicing. You just have to go with it. I'll show you an example. Dan bringing me to this event, or even without Dan, talking to other people's kind of does boost a lot of my confidence. Somehow you just get used to it, to conversations that we have, and during conversations you pick up from other people's ideas. You can use those ideas as your output to other people. So let's say I learned from Dan. how they have used AI in their fields. And then I came to this other person that isn't in the technical tech side. And I was just like, oh wait, actually, I heard from somewhere that they're implementing this AI and how they're implementing to resolve this. And how do you think about it? Those are value creating, even though you don't have to experience it yourself. You can still provide value. But yeah, in the very end, you just have to practice and overcome the fear. Like that's just what you have to do.
Yes, sometimes we have like awkward situations. We just need to practice, and you can.
I mean, awkward situation there's all the time. Yeah. Even not in networking events, it would be like normal conversations or with clients or your colleagues. It happens. It's very normal. You just have to know that it's a normal thing to have like an awkward, silent moment and practice.
But you need to prepare yourself, right?
Yes, of course.
Prepare the topics, like how you say about yourself, how you talk about yourself, how you introduce about yourself, and the topic you're going to talk about.
So you want me to talk about? You want me to share that aspect?
Yes, maybe 1 minute.
Yeah, I mean, what you said before is really spot on. It's about storytelling. So you may have a story that you can tell, but in your case, you mentioned, I heard from someone else, and you recounted another person's story, which you were able to tell their story to this new person. So all those stories are through going to events, you compile more stories that you can share.
Yeah.
That's a good part.
So are we trying to...
Yes. Yeah, if you don't mind. Maybe we can count like something you can try to introduce yourself or stuff like that.
Yeah, I mean, similar to what we had just now, introducing myself. Hey, I'm Gordon. Where are you from? Those types.
About, like 2 minutes.
As in, can you be a bit more specific? Is this similar to what we had just the role play just now, or is that different?
It's fine. I mean, like just about like the word, the thing, how you can. You mentioned about like Daniel, how he introduced you, or So like if you guys can give like international student only one tip, like to help them to like tackle with all the networking issues, like everything. So what would it be?
I would say the number one tip is you're an international student. English is not your first language. Don't worry about that. People can probably tell based on your clothing once you speak that English isn't your first language. And you know what? It doesn't matter from there. They just have already absorbed that. It's a fact. They're not going to dwell on it. So don't dwell on it on your mind. And that, as Gordon said before, don't ask, don't get. So ask all the questions you want to know about that person. Because from there on, they'll give you information that you can make comment on. And that's the connection that you're trying to build from there.
Yeah, I feel
what are
like
your thoughts?
It's actually a advantage that you speak another language, because even for my workplace, it's much easier to make connection if you speak other's language. Let's say, we all know in Australia we speak English, but it will make your connection special when I speak Chinese or Cantonese to like the client. They'll be like, oh wait, you actually speak that, and then somehow it's weird, but you have the connection, like a much closer connection compared to just speaking in English. So yeah, you can use that as your advantage. There might be local Vietnamese in Australia. They'd be like, oh wait, you're actually Vietnamese, and oh, how is it back there now? And those are the connections you can make as well. Use those as your advantage.
Yeah. Or if someone is from a totally different country, say they're from Greenland and they're Eskimo, then it's a different conversation. Oh, what's it like living in an igloo? What's it like living in a cold climate? Then those questions are more about inquiring about, what their life is like.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, I think like making like diversity is actually an advantage, right?
Yes.
Yeah, that's good. Thank you. It's very worthy. Thank you so much. So everyone, that's it for today's episode of diaXpora. So I think our listeners take away a lot about the strategies like Gordon and Dan just say about us. And I think they will build a lot of confidence to stand out, to show up, to build the connections, networking. So if you like this episode, so please just share to everyone, like need a little bit, networking courage. Thank you so much.